See about electrolysis. Very important topic. How will you explain to electrolysis? Simply पूछा जाता है, स्टूडेंट सिंपली रिस्पॉन्स देते हैं. On passing current in the aqueous solution of any electrolyte or any compound, it used to break into ion. This is known as the electrolysis. But this is absolutely wrong. भला ये इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस कैसे हो सकता है? इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस just like pyrolysis, okay, hydrolysis, photolysis, by the same way it is considered as a electrolysis. Lysis means decompose होना, अलग होना. And electrolysis on account of the influence of current. Then what is the definition of electrolysis? भैया आप कह सकते हैं क्या होता है electrolysis? Then listen. On passing current in the aqueous solution of any electrolyte through electrodes. On passing current in the aqueous solution of any electrolyte through electrodes. Through electrodes. Then a stable product. Then a stable product is going to form in respective electrode on account of the decomposition of electrolyte. This is known as electrolysis. मतलब समझ पाए? किसी इलेक्ट्रोलिटिक सॉल्यूशन में इलेक्ट्रोड के थ्रू करंट एंटर कराते हैं तो इलेक्ट्रोलाइट का एक्वस सॉल्यूशन डिकम्पोज होकर के कैथोड और एनोड पर स्टेबल प्रोडक्ट का फॉर्मेशन करता है. दिस इज नोन एज इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस. मींस ऑन पासिंग करंट इन द एक्वस सॉल्यूशन ऑफ एनी इलेक्ट्रोलाइट थ्रू इलेक्ट्रोड्स, then electrolyte used to form its fractional stable product at cathode and anode. This phenomena is called electrolysis. For example, as the electrolysis of NaCl. NaCl का इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस कराना चाहते हैं. अल्टीमेटली वी हैव टेकन द एक्वस सॉल्यूशन ऑफ NaCl. और आप जो कहते हैं कि आयन में ब्रेक हो जाएगा, नो, लिसन. इन एक्वस स्टेट इट इज ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट इन आयनिक स्टेट. बेटा जब इसका एक्वस सॉल्यूशन बनाएंगे, NaCl हो या कोई भी इलेक्ट्रोलाइट हो, electrolyte means ionic compound. Each and every ionic compound is counted under electrolyte. तो जो aqueous solution है, क्लियर हो रहा है ना, तो ये ऑलरेडी रिवर्सिबल फॉर्म में है, क्योंकि जब तक ये डिसोसिएट नहीं होगा till it can't dissolve in water, तो इस फॉर्म में था. now on passing current through electrodes. Electrode, you know, cathode and anode commonly known as electrode. Okay? अब इसमें जब करंट एंटर करा रहे हैं, then what happens? Place 2 here. Why? You will guess. And electrolysis means on passing current. Then its electrolysis take place. And what happens in electrolysis? Twice Na positive plus twice Cl. तो आपने एक मेजर चेंज देखा. This reversible form convert into irreversible. ये रिवर्सिबल था, ये रिवर्सिबल फॉर्म इरिवर्सिबल स्टेट में कन्वर्ट, ये फर्स्ट चेंज इन फर्स्ट स्टेट, पहले स्टेप में चेंजेस हुए, ये रिवर्सिबल था, करंट इन्फ्लुएंस में आकर के इरिवर्सिबल हुआ। नाउ at anode, because you know electrolysis used to perform a particular container, or that container is known as electrolytic cell। जैसे इसका मैं करा रहा था हुज NaCl का, तो ऐसे करा रहे होंगे, सपोज दिस इज द कंटेनर ओनली फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग पर्पस, राइट, and having taken the solution of NaCl, and these are the two metal strips, these are the strip of metal, one used to work as anode, other used to work as a cathode। the positively charged electrode known as anode and negatively charged electrode is known as cathode। here we have taken NaCl solution, and this is the container in which electrolysis used to perform is known as electrolytic cell। क्या नाम देंगे बेटा? इलेक्ट्रोलिटिक सेल, राइट। नाउ वन पासिंग current, this will take place, and after changing in this form, its positive component used to move toward cathode and its negative component used to move towards anode। तो एनोड की तरफ, एनोड इज द पॉजिटिव इलेक्ट्रोड, एनोड इज द पॉजिटिव इलेक्ट्रोड, तो पॉजिटिव तरफ कौन जाएगा? नेगेटिव। एंड वन थिंग which is explained by me many times, that at anode oxidation take place and at cathode always reduction take place, which is proved by me। Cl, anode के पास पहुंचता है twice Cl, and it will lose 2 electrons, it will lose 2 electrons, then used to convert into Cl2 by losing 2 electrons। भाई ये जो एक Cl पे -1 चार्ज है ना, -1 चार्ज ऑन Cl यूज्ड टू इंडिकेट इट हैज रिच इलेक्ट्रॉन रिच स्टेट, यानी इसको बाहर से एक इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन किया तभी तो -1 था, और यदि इसको न्यूट्रल स्टेट में लाना है तो इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज करना पड़ेगा। हियर आर 2 Cl atom, a 2 Cl chloride ion, so you used to lose 1 electron by both, so 2 electrons are going to released Cl2। it means एनोड पे क्या रिलीज हो गई? क्लोरीन गैस by performing oxidation reaction, हो रहा है ना ऑक्सीडेशन। नाउ एट कैथोड, कैथोड में, कैथोड इज द नेगेटिवली चार्ज इलेक्ट्रोड, इसकी तरफ कौन मूव करेगा? दिस वन। अभी इलेक्ट्रॉन डिफिशिएंट है, द इलेक्ट्रॉन which are released by chloride ions must be taken by सोडियम आयन। जो इलेक्ट्रॉन क्लोराइड आयन ने 2 रिलीज किया था, दोनों, एक सोडियम को 1 चाहिए इलेक्ट्रॉन, there are 2 sodium is to gain both the 2 electrons and used to convert in this form, isolated, and since it is highly reactive in nature, then it used to absorb water। एक को सोल्यूशन तो था ही, वाटर तो था उसमें, उसको अपनी ओर अटैक करेगा, तो ये देखिए ट्वाइस यानी आइसोलेटेड फॉर्म में आया, और ये 2 मोल्स वाटर से रिएक्शन करके क्या बना लेगा? ट्वाइस NaOH, and hydrogen gas used to release। What happens here? Hydrogen gas used to release। This whole the phenomena is known as electrolysis। Clear? I hope there is no chance of any confusion। यहां पे कोई कंफ्यूजन हो ही नहीं सकता है, और इससे रिलेटेड केवल 5 मिनट लगेंगे। इससे रिलेटेड एक लॉ है, Faraday's law, which is split in 2 parts, Faraday's first law as well as Faraday's second law। Then I hope explain both the laws. Clear? For the explanation of both laws, because both the laws of Faraday's are directly or indirectly related to electrolysis. Okay? Then about Faraday's first law. Faraday's first law. Okay? Faraday's first law. It is directly related to electrolysis. ये इलेक्ट्रोलिसिस से रिलेटेड है क्या? कैसे जानेंगे? According to this law, on passing current in the aqueous solution of any electrolyte, the amount of metal which is deposited at cathode is directly proportional to used amount of charge. समझ में आया? According to this law, on passing current in the aqueous solution of an electrolyte, then the amount of metal which is deposited at cathode is directly proportional to used amount of charge. Right? For example, let W gram metal is deposited at cathode by gaining or using Q coulomb charge. Q coulomb charge. Okay? Therefore, according to Faraday's law, W is directly proportional to Q, which is implies W is equal to Z into Q. Okay? Z is the equivalent constant. Equivalent constant. Generally, its value is taken 1. Generally, maximum cases में Z की value 1 ले लेते. And one thing I want to explain. Since Q is equal to I into T, Q is equal to I into T. I is the amount of current and T is the time taken. T is the time which is used on account of the passing I amount of current. I एम्पियर की करंट T सेकेंड तक एंटर कराते हैं किसी सॉल्यूशन में, तो इन दोनों के प्रोडक्ट को दैट इज नोन एज Q में चार्ज I into T, which is implies W is equal to ZI T. This is the mathematical expression of Faraday's first law. Here ये मैं पहले एक्सप्लेन कर चुका हूं ऑलरेडी. W is the deposited amount of metal at particular cathode and Q is the used total amount of charge. Then W is directly proportional to Q. ये रेशियो हटाएंगे तो Z is considered equilibrium constant. And since it is universal truth, Q is equal to I into T. Here you know I is the current. I, what is the I? I stand here for current, and that is taken especially in amperes. And T is the time, and especially taken in सेकेंड. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. ये जानना आपको बहुत जरूरी है कि इसमें आई करंट लेंगे इन एम्पियर में, एम्पियर, एंड टाइम ऑलवेज टेकन इन सेकेंड, देन W इज इक्वल टू ZIT. And you know the numericals which are related to Faraday's first law are also very simple, but mostly student to or is involved in error. A very common error. स्टूडेंट कॉमन एरर करते हैं. और वो क्या एरर हो जाती है, कौन सी माइनर मिस्टेक होती है? सी, वन ऑफ द न्यूमेरिकल which is related to Faraday's first law. A numerical which one is related to Faraday's first law. And you know that question is this. Listen, if 5 amperes current is allowed to enter in, see properly, allowed to enter in calcium chloride solution for 10 minutes, okay, then calculate the deposited amount of calcium at cathode. This is the question. Means calcium chloride solution में 5 एम्पियर की करंट 10 मिनट तक एंटर कंटिन्यू कराते हैं. 5 एम्पियर की करंट को 10 मिनट कंटिन्यूअस एंटर कराते हैं. तो बताइए, पूछा क्या गया है कि हाउ मच कैल्शियम यूज टू डिपोजिट एट कैथोड. कैथोड में कैल्शियम कितने डिपोजिट हो जाएगा? ओके, दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. देन द सॉल्यूशन इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. The things which is given in this numerical you have to note down. In this case, here current is given how much? 5 amperes, right? And time is 10 minutes. 10 minutes you have to convert it into second, to so multiply by 60, because 1 minute has 60 seconds. Then 10 minutes, 10 into 60. This is the quantity of time in second. Okay. Now I have to calculate its amount, deposit amount of calcium. Then don't apply here W is equal to ZIT. तो W is equal to ZIT तो सभी के लिए है, चाहे वो कैल्शियम का सोल्यूशन होता है, एल्युमिनियम का होता, या सोडियम का होता, या पोटेशियम का होता, मोनोवैलेंट, डाइवैलेंट, ट्राइवैलेंट, किसी का होता, वो तो सेम फार्मूला लगता. वो न लगाने की भूल करिए. क्यों? आप ये देखिए, कॉपर सल्फेट सॉल्यूशन को, सॉरी कॉपर सल्फेट नहीं, हियर इज द कैल्शियम क्लोराइड, नॉट कॉपर सल्फेट. कैल्शियम क्लोराइड सॉल्यूशन में जब करंट एंटर कराएंगे तो Ca+2 and twice Cl negative. This one take. ऑलरेडी ब्रेक तो पहले से था, अब इरिवर्सिबल फॉर्म में आ गया. ये कैल्शियम है. अल्टीमेटली एट कैथोड, व्हाट इज द टोटल अमाउंट ऑफ Ca+2 प्लस 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन. ये Ca में +2 चार्ज है, सो अल्टीमेटली इट विल गेन 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड डिपॉजिटेड इन दिस फॉर्म. क्लियर? समझिए, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूमेरिकल. तो यहां पर कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन, हाउ मेनी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर प्रेजेंट हियर, यू कांट डिक्लेयर अबाउट 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन, नो 2 मोल्स इलेक्ट्रॉन, 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं है यहां पे, 2 मोल्स इलेक्ट्रॉन है। हाउ मेनी मोल्स, 2 मोल इलेक्ट्रॉन। एंड व्हाट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज ऑन 1 मोल इलेक्ट्रॉन, 1 मोल इलेक्ट्रॉन में कितना चार्ज होता है, 1 मोल इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैव चार्ज 96500 कूलम। 1 मोल इलेक्ट्रॉन पे चार्ज, 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं 1 मोल इलेक्ट्रॉन पे चार्ज 96500 कूलम होता है। एंड हाउ मेनी मोल्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर प्रेजेंट हियर, 2 मोल्स, 2 into 96500 कूलम। This is the total amount of charge and the deposited amount of calcium. Stoichiometric mass of calcium is 40 gram, which is equal to stoichiometric mass of calcium in this equation is equal to its atomic mass 40 gram. आपकी इस न्यूमेरिकल में आपके पास टोटल अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज क्या है, Q is equal to I into T. What is the amount of I here, 5 and T 10 into 60. What means 6 5s are 30. 6 5s are 30. This is the Coulomb charge. हमारे क्वेश्चन में मैंने लिखा लिया ना, दिस इज द गिवन अमाउंट ऑफ करंट, दिस इज द टाइम टेकन इन सेकेंड। तो Q is equal to I into T, I 5 and T 10, 6 5s are 30 and 2 0 इतने कूलम। Now you can calculate most easily. आप आसानी से कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं, कैसे, सिंस सीयर 2 into 96500 कूलम चार्ज is responsible to collect 40 gram calcium. Therefore, how much total charge is present? 3000 coulomb charge will deposit 40 upon 2 into 96500 into 3000. ये जो आएगा that is the complete amount of calcium. है बहुत अच्छा न्यूमेरिकल ना। अल्टीमेटली डायरेक्ट फार्मूला ना लगा दे W इक्वल टू ZIT, नो, वो तो बेटा सभी मेटल के लिए हो जाता, चाहे मोनोवैलेंट एक इलेक्ट्रॉन ले रहा है। और दूसरी चीज यहाँ पे समझना, कोई भी इलेक्ट्रोलाइट हो उसको इस तरह से डिसोसिएट हो जाएगा, फिर उसको यहाँ पे लाएं, ये जैसे डिसोसिएट हुआ, फिर इसको यहाँ पर ला करके चार्ज को न्यूट्रलाइज करेंगे तो उतने इलेक्ट्रॉन लेगा। और यहाँ पे जो बैलेंस इक्वेशन होता है, वहां पे जो इलेक्ट्रॉन हो या कोई भी स्पीसीज हो, वो यूनिट नंबर पे नहीं होती, इन टर्म्स ऑफ मोल होता है। क्या 2 मोल्स इलेक्ट्रॉन है, 1 मोल इलेक्ट्रॉन पे चार्ज इतना होता है, 2 मोल्स पे इतना, और इतना चार्ज कितनी कैल्शियम डिपॉजिट कराता है, 40 ग्राम। तो दिस चार्ज इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू डिपॉजिट दिस अमाउंट ऑफ कैल्शियम, अल्टीमेटली दिस अमाउंट ऑफ चार्ज, इतना चार्ज यूज करने में कितनी कैल्शियम डिपॉजिट होगी, this upon this into this, and we have to find the clear. I hope everything is going to clear now, right? And this is the final lecture, and this is the final topic of this lecture. Clear हो गया ना? Everything is going to clear now. Faraday's second law. Faraday's second law. It is also associated with electrolysis. Okay? On passing equal, we are going to explain about the second law, Faraday. Simply we can say Faraday's second law related to electrolysis. On passing equal amount of current for equal interval of time in different electrolytic cell, then the amount of metals which is deposited in related cathode is equal to their equivalent weight. Clear? On passing equal amount of current in equal interval of time in different electrolytic cell, then the amount of metal which is deposited in related cathode is equal to their equivalent weight. For example, as on passing equal amount of current in AgNO3 as well as in CuSO4 solution for equal interval of time, especially for the equal interval of time, then according to Faraday's second law, weight of Ag whole upon weight of Cu is equal to equivalent weight of Ag whole upon equivalent weight of Cu, right? This is Faraday's second law. Clear? So simple. And according to the rule, the weight of related metals deposited in respective cathodes is equal to their equivalent weight. And here you know E. Here E is considered to be equivalent weight, right? And how will you decide the equivalent weight of related metal? It is also necessary, because if you are not able to find out the equivalent weight of metals, then how is it possible to decide the solution of related numerical? Okay, particularly for any metal, equivalent weight is equal to atomic mass of metal whole upon its valency. Okay, this one. It is Faraday's second law. And with the help of this, you can find out the equivalent weight of related metal. Because atomic mass everybody know. And you can decide the valency as per nature of the metal. Okay, this is the Faraday's second law. Hence we have to explain both the laws of Faraday, which are directly and indirectly related to electrolysis, right? And now finally I am going to explain about corrosion. About the corrosion. What is the corrosion? Corrosion, in case of corrosion, the decay of any metal in the presence of moisture and oxygen through redox process is known as corrosion. Corrosion. Okay? Once more, the decay of any metal through redox process in the presence of moisture and oxygen is called corrosion. For example, as the rusting of iron. As the rusting of iron. Okay? For example, as the rusting of iron. Ultimately, now we are going to explain about the rusting of iron, which is one of the example of corrosion. And as you know well, the study of this chapter is completely based on redox concept. Definitely it is completely based on the redox concept. So rusting of iron is also based on redox concept. Ultimately, for the redox concept, three things are necessary to keep always in memory. And these three things are, which is working as a anode, which is working as a cathode, which is used as electrolyte, the oxidation process at anode and reduction process at cathode, and overall reaction, which is considered as a redox reaction, right? So in this case, Fe is used as anode, and O2, this one used as cathode, and H2CO3 means carbonic acid used as electrolyte. This one is used as electrolyte. Clear? And how will you, what is the source of H2CO3? Because this is not the human effect. This is not the human process. It is a natural process. Then I want to explain what is the source of H2CO3. Generally, carbon dioxide present in atmosphere, when it is get combined with moisture, which is also present in air, atmosphere, then the formation of H2CO3 is take place, which is considered to be the weak acid, means a weak electrolyte, right? And first of all, for electrolyte, H2CO3 used to break twice as positive as well as CO3 minus 2. Right? Now, at anode, what will happen? Iron used to lose 2 electrons like this. Used to lose 2 electrons, then iron used to convert into ferrous through oxidation process. It is associated with oxidation, no doubt. You can see. Since here in this case, iron is going to lose 2 electrons, that's why it is counted under oxidation, 0 plus 2, right? Either through oxidation or through the removal of electron, right? Now, at cathode, what is going to happen at cathode? As you know well, oxygen is considered to be its working at cathode. O2, which used to gain H2O, not H positive, which is taken from electrolyte, O2 plus H positive plus electron. Okay, add positive plus electron. Since two oxygen atoms are present here, so we have taken here 4 hydrogen, 4 electron, and these electrons are taken from the iron. For the requirement of 4 electron, we will take here 2 Fe atom, 2 iron atom, 2 Fe plus 2, 4 electron. No, any type of variation take place here. Okay, this is the common sense, right? O2 plus 4H plus 4 electron means twice H2O. Ultimately, its reduction take place. Why? You can identify the reduction process in this step on account through 2 points. On account of through 2 points. First, here oxidation state of oxygen is 0. Here -2. And second thing, in this step, electrons are taken by this one. That's why gaining of electron used to indicate about the reduction, and losing of electron used to indicate about oxidation. So this one step is associated with reduction. This step is associated with reduction, right? And now, what happens? Now this Fe plus 2 means ferrous used to attract to oxygen to form its oxide through oxidation process. It used to form its oxide through oxidation process. See, now O2 used to combine with Fe plus 2 to convert Fe to O3. Means Fe plus 2 ferrous ion used to combine with oxygen to form its oxide, which is known as ferric oxide. And this phenomena used to perform through oxidation, and its reaction C. Fe plus 2 plus O2 plus H2O. Fe plus 2 plus O2 plus H2O gives out Fe2O3, means ferric oxide, plus H positive plus H positive. And now you have to notice here Fe2O3, place here 4, then write here 2, twice Fe plus 2, 3, right? Here oxygen, 3 2s are 6. 6 oxygen. In 4, 2, 6. 4 and 2, 6. So 3 2s are 6, 4 2 6, and hydrogen 4 2s are 8. Right here 8. Hence, ferrous ion used to convert into ferric ion. The formation of Fe2O3 take place, and charge 4 2s are 8. 8 positive charge. Here 1 hydrogen atom है plus 1 charge. Here 8 hydrogen atom plus 8 here and plus 8 here. Then the formation of Fe2O3 take place. Okay, and now we are writing here on account of the low space. Now Fe2O3 used to absorb moisture. Now this one used to absorb moisture to form the rust. Means Fe2O3 plus X mole of water, then it used to form Fe2O3 dot X H2. This is the ferric oxide. When ferrous converted into ferric oxide, it used to absorb some particular moles of water, just like X moles of water, to form Fe2O3 dot X H2O. It is known as hydrated ferric oxide and ultimately known as rust, simply also known as hydrated ferric oxide, rust, and its color is reddish brown. Its color is considered to be the reddish brown. And on account of the formation of rust, means Fe2O3 dot XS2, it will lose the surface of iron. It will lose the surface of related iron goods. And when the removal of this one take place from the surface of iron, then no doubt we can declare the disintegration of iron take place. Means the decay of iron take place. Why? Because some of the amount of iron, any one apparatus, any one goods, any one article of iron, from the surface of iron, this amount of iron used to lose the surface of related iron articles. Hence we can declare then the decay of iron take place. This whole phenomena is said to be rusting of iron. I hope there should be no confusion about it. Clear? Its color is reddish brown. Okay? Its color is reddish brown. And it is also considered to be exothermic nature. Right? And now we have to explain about influencing factor for the rusting of iron. Influencing factor for the rusting of iron. Influencing factors. Okay? Influencing factor means those particular factors which used to influence to the rate of the formation of rusting. These are considered to be the influencing factor. And there are some particular influencing factors which directly or indirectly used to influence the rate of formation of rust. And among them, number 1, presence of O2 and moisture. For the rusting of iron, these two components are most necessary. Without the presence of these two components, the rusting of iron is not possible. Because you have noticed about its contribution in that redox process which is used for the formation of rust. Clear? O2, ferrous converted into ferric on account of the contribution of oxygen. And when ferric oxide used to absorb moisture, then the formation of rust take place and recently leave the surface of related article. Clear? So, these two components are, the presence of these two components is most necessary to perform rusting. Right? And second point. And now about the second point. Second point about the rusting. You know, low temperature. Low temperature. No doubt, low temperature always favor to rate of rusting. Why? Because in case of higher temperature, the presence of moisture used to escape. On account of higher temperature of the surrounding, used to eliminate the presence of moisture. And without the presence of moisture, there is no chance of the formation of rusting. No chance of the formation of rust. And no chance of the rusting phenomenon. Right? So low temperature always favor to the rate of rusting. Clear? Now about third point. Saline water. Saline water, you know, that water which contains some of the amount of sodium chloride. The water containing suitable amount of sodium chloride is considered to be the saline water. And saline water always favor to the formation of rusting. Saline water always favor to perform rusting process. Okay? Because saline water, that water which contain NaCl, and NaCl is considered to be the electrolyte which is most useful and helpful for the rusting. Clear? And fourth, nature of metal. Those metals which are actually highly reactive in nature, those metals which are highly reactive in nature are associated with rusting. That's why those metals which are least reactive in nature, there is no effect of rusting along with such metals. So this point is also one of the influencing point to increase the rate of rusting. Okay? And fifth point, the presence of scratch. The presence of scratch, corners, okay, scratch, corners, rough surface. Ultimately, the iron whose surface is not so smooth, having a lot of cracks, corner edges, scratch, cracks, corners, all these components used to convert a smooth surface of iron into rough surface. And rough surface has a lot of active centers. What do you mean by the active center? Which used to attract oxygen. I mean to say used to increase the absorption power of iron. Okay? Ultimately, all those articles of iron whose outer surface is rough. Rough means having scratch, cracks, corners, edges. These points which are responsible to convert the surface of iron into rough surface. And rough surface always favor to the formation of rust. Why? Because this rough surface of iron used to increase its adsorption power. And what do you mean by the adsorption power? You know, the attracting capacity of oxygen by the iron is known as adsorption power. Okay? You will study in detail in chapter surface chemistry about the adsorption. Clear? Then these are the influencing factors which are responsible to increase the rate of rusting of the article of iron. Okay, any one article of the iron. Okay, so these are the influencing factors. And finally, I want to explain about prevention against rusting. Means, how will you protect the articles of iron from rusting? Because rusting used to decay the outer surface of iron. Clear? And in our surrounding, a lot of contribution of iron is present, either in bridge, different sorts of bridges, a lot of apartments, a lot of buildings, okay, in which there is major use of iron rods, iron pillars. Okay, so their safety is necessary because rusting is the phenomena which used to convert strong iron into weak iron, increase weakness and decrease strongness. Then how will you protect iron from rusting? Means prevention against rusting. Prevention against rusting. Okay. Number one, there are a lot of processes which are used to protect the iron from rusting, right? And among them, first one is by barrier process. First process which is used to protect iron from rusting, that is said to be barrier process. What is the barrier process? Okay. In case of barrier process, different components used to develop on the surface of iron. Okay, different components used to develop on the surface of iron, so that the contact of iron with oxygen and moisture used to block. And when the contact of iron with oxygen and moisture used to block, there is no chance of rusting. And for this purpose, just for this purpose, we have to develop the layer of paint on the surface of iron. Develop the layer of paint on the surface of iron. Next point, we have to use the layer of grease and oil. We can also develop the thin layer of grease and oil, which will also protect iron from rusting. By the same way, we can also develop the layer of those metal on the surface of iron in which there is no effect of rusting. Understood? We can develop the layer of those metal on the surface of related iron in which there is no chance of rusting. For example, just like nickel, aluminium, zinc. These are the particular metal which are completely non-affected with rusting. So, through electrolysis process, through galvanization process, we can place the layer of these metal and protect iron from rusting. This is known as barrier process. And in case of second, that is known as sacrificial process. Sacrificial process. What is the sacrificial process? On account of its name, you can notice. In this case, we used to attach any article of iron with that metal which is more reactive than iron. In this process, we used to attach the article of iron with that metal which is more reactive than iron, just like manganese or zinc. When any one article of iron used to attach with more reactive metal like zinc or magnesium, either zinc or magnesium, then there is no chance of the oxidation of iron. Means now iron can't lose electron with such metal, because iron, just like magnesium or zinc, since these are more reactive metal, ultimately on account of its more reactive nature, when these metal used to lose electron, then on that moment iron has not tendency, iron has not capacity to lose electron. And when iron will not lose electron, then its oxidation is not possible. And without the oxidation of iron, there is no chance of rusting. Clear? This process is said to be sacrificial process, because the metal which are more reactive than iron used to sacrifice to themselves for the protection of iron from the rusting. Clear? Any confusion? Still you are facing confusion? See once more. In this process, we used to develop or we used to attach any one article of iron with more reactive metal like zinc or magnesium. When iron's article used to attach with such metals, then its electron losing tendency used to diminish. Now it can't lose electron, because now iron is less reactive comparison to related metal. And when iron will not lose electron, then its oxidation is not possible. And without the oxidation, there is no chance of rusting. Hence, iron protect to itself from rusting by using this process. Clear? And now, in case of third process, which is known as electrical protection process. Electrical protection process. Okay? Electrical protection process. What do you mean by this? It is also somehow similar to this. And this process is basically, working principle of this process is similar to this, but use is different. This process is used to protect those articles of iron which are buried under the ground. For example, to protect the iron tube, we protect the iron cylinder, iron pipe, which are used in different purpose, just like for the boring of submersible or any other purpose. Okay, the iron pipe which are used in submersible case or in case of boring of the different tube wells, those iron pipes are buried under the ground. Then there is maximum possibility of rusting of such iron pipe. Okay, then to protect those iron pipe which are buried under the ground, we have to use this process. And what happens in this process? So we have taken a particular piece of more reactive metal, just like this one is the piece of magnesium. And suppose this is the iron pipe. Suppose this is the iron pipe which is buried under the ground. This is the iron pipe. This is the level of ground. So this iron pipe is present inside the ground. And this piece of more reactive metal like magnesium is present on the surface of earth. Now, we attach to this piece of more reactive metal with this iron pipe. We used to attach this iron pipe with this more reactive metal. This is the piece of more reactive metal like magnesium. And for connecting both articles, we have to use a conductive wire. In this purpose, we have to use here a particular conductive wire. Conductive wire means the wire which is made of a particular metals. then there is a particular question. How it will protect to this iron pipe? This one is the iron pipe, okay? This is the iron pipe as a symbol. You know, no doubt this iron pipe is present inside the earth. Okay, this is present inside the earth. This is the iron pipe. This is the level of earth. Clear? When this iron pipe is attached with this metal, and since here in this particular example, since magnesium is more reactive than iron, magnesium is more reactive than iron, and when it is attached with a conductive wire, then the electron losing tendency or electron losing intensity of iron becomes most poor comparison to this, because the whole working of this one depend on oxidation and reduction. When it is considered to be most reactive metal comparison to iron, so no doubt its oxidation take place. It will start losing electron, and when its oxidation take place, there is no chance of the oxidation of iron. When the oxidation of the piece of magnesium will take place, then it will completely block the oxidation phenomena of iron. It means now this iron pipe can't lose electron on account of the contribution of this one. And when there is no chance of the losing of electron by this iron pipe, then there is no chance of the formation of rust. Means rusting process now can't conduct with this iron pipe. Hence, it will protect to itself from rusting. This is considered to be electrical protection process. Clear? These are the particular processes which are widely used to protect iron from rusting. Clear? And last point, only the last point, and after this point, the chapter electrochemistry will complete. Means I am going to explain last point of this chapter. Basically about the last point of this chapter. That point you know. Contribution of Gibbs free energy change. Means contribution of delta G. Do you know about the delta G? Delta G is known as Gibbs free energy change. This is known as Gibbs free energy change. Gibbs free energy change. And about this, you know well through your previous class related chapter thermodynamics. Okay? Now in this chapter, what is the contribution of this one? How it will affect to oxidation and reduction for the different cells and others. As we know well, what is the first I want to explain about the Gibbs free energy change. That energy whose negative value is most useful to perform any chemical phenomena, then it is known as Gibbs free energy. That energy whose negative value used to favor any chemical process is known as Gibbs free energy, and that is associated with Gibbs free energy change. And for the redox process, delta G is equal to minus NFE. NF, delta G you know well. N means number of contributed electron in redox process, and F is the Faraday unit of charge. Faraday unit of charge. Okay, means its value you know well, 96500 coulomb. Clear? And what is the E? E are stand here for electrode potential of cell. Electrode potential. E here stand for the electrode potential of any cell, right? And one more contribution. There is one more equation you can use related to delta G. It can also explain like delta G is equal to minus 2.303 RT log Kc. This, the numerical related to give free energy change, we have to use only these two mathematical expression. Here R, you know, gas constant, its value 8.314 joule per mole, 8.314 joule per mole, and T absolute temperature exactly 298 Kelvin, or simply 25 degrees Celsius. It always remain constant. That will also remain constant. And especially Kc. What is the Kc here? Kc is the equilibrium constant. Kc is considered to be here equilibrium constant. And hence, chapter electrochemistry, all the fundamental concept, basic information related to electrochemistry have completed. This chapter has completed, and in my next video lecture I will explain all the numericals, and those are related either in text or exercise, or having a lot of PDF assignment, assessments, and such material you can download in form of PDF. Okay? Otherwise, I will provide to you. Okay? Although these material related to their numerical approach others, and simply all the numerical related to this chapter you can solve without any complex sum, except if you will pay your commanding in redox process. Thank you.